She sold my prized record collection at a garage sale for peanuts, saying I needed to grow up. I said nothing. I simply filed a police report for felony theft and handed them the security camera footage. The buyer got to keep the records, but the insurance payout I received for stolen property was triple their value. I, 32 male, have been collecting vinyl records since I was 14. My girlfriend Jordana, 29, sold my entire collection at a garage sale while I was at a work conference. 1,832 records, including 23 original Blue Notes, a signed copy of Kind of Blue, and a test pressing of the Velvet Underground and Nico worth more than her car. She sold everything for $500 total. I'd been with Jordana for 2 years. She moved in 6 months ago. From day one, she complained about my record room, a spare bedroom I'd converted into climate-controlled storage with custom shelving. "It's creepy," she'd say. "Like a museum. When are you going to turn it into something useful?" This is useful. It's my collection. It's toys for adults. You're 32, not 16. We had this argument monthly. I thought we'd reached an understanding when I agreed to keep the door closed when her friends visited. I was wrong. 3 weeks ago, I flew out for a cybersecurity conference, 4 days, 3 nights. Jordana stayed home to catch up on work. She's a marketing consultant, works from home. On day 3, my neighbor Cliff sent me a text. "Hey man, you having a garage sale? Saw Jordana putting up signs." My blood went cold. We didn't discuss any garage sale. I called Jordana. No answer. Texted, "What's this about a garage sale?" She replied 2 hours later, "Just clearing out some junk. The garage was a disaster." "What junk specifically?" "Old stuff we don't need. Trust me, you won't even notice." That phrase, "you won't even notice," set off every alarm in my head. I called Cliff. "Can you drive by and see what she's selling?" 20 minutes later, he called back. His voice was weird, careful. "Dude, she's selling your records." "What?" "All of them. There's a guy here loading boxes into a van. I heard her say, vintage vinyl collection, barely touched." My boyfriend finally agreed to let them go. "Buy them. All of them. Whatever she's asking, I'll pay you back double." "He's already loading them." She sold the whole lot for $500. My hands were shaking. "Get his license plate." Cliff sent me photos. The buyer's van, license plate clear as day. Jordana smiling, shaking hands with him. My records in boxes being loaded up. I wanted to scream. Instead, I did something smarter. "Cliff, is your security camera working? The one that covers your driveway?" "Yeah, why? It can see my garage from there, right?" "Parts of it, yeah." "Save that footage." "All of it." Then I called my homeowner's insurance agent. Update 1, I landed at 11 p.m., took an Uber home. The house was dark. Jordana was already asleep. I went straight to my record room, empty. Every shelf, every crate, every protective sleeve, gone. She'd even taken the humidity monitor. But she'd left something. A note, taped where my rarest records used to be. It was time to grow up. This obsession wasn't healthy. The money from the sale is going toward new living room furniture. Something we can both enjoy. You'll thank me when you see how adult our home looks now. I took a photo of the note. Evidence. Then I went to the garage. She'd already bought the furniture. 2 hideous fake leather couches and some glass coffee table that looked like it belonged in a 90s porn shoot. Receipt on the kitchen counter. $2,400. She'd sold my 150 Cali collection for $500 and spent $2,400 on garbage furniture. I slept in my car that night. Couldn't be in the same house as her. The next morning, Saturday, I was at the police station when they opened. I need to report a theft. The desk sergeant looked bored. What was taken? My record collection. 1,832 vinyl records. Your roommate or girlfriend. But she had no permission to sell them. Domestic situations are complicated. I have video evidence, and the collection was insured for $150,000. His head snapped up. $150,000? Yes. I have documentation for everything. Appraisals, insurance policies, receipts. Suddenly I had his full attention. Detective Morrison took my case. I showed him. Insurance documentation listing every record. Appraisal from last year. $147,500 total value. Cliff's security footage showing Jordana selling them. Photos from the garage sale. The buyer's license plate. Jordana's note admitting she sold them. "This is felony theft," he said. "Grand larceny. She sold property valued over $100 without permission." Will the buyer have to return them? Probably not if he bought them in good faith, but your insurance should cover it and she'll face charges. Perfect. I went home. Jordana was in the kitchen, humming, making breakfast. Hey babe, when did you get in? Do you like the new furniture? I set my phone to record. Where are my records? She rolled her eyes. This again? They're gone. I told you we needed to declutter. You sold my property without permission. Your property. We live together. What's yours is mine. No, that's not how it works. We're not married. You stole from me. She laughed. Stole? I sold some dusty old records that were taking up an entire room. Those dusty old records were worth $150,000. Her face went pale. You're lying. The Blue Note collection alone was worth $30K. Lie. You're making that up to make me feel bad. I'm not, and the police agree. The what? I filed a police report. Detective Morrison will be in touch. She dropped her coffee mug. It shattered. You called the police? On me? Your girlfriend? Ex-girlfriend, you have 1 hour to pack your stuff and leave. You can't kick me out, I live here. You're not on the lease. You're a month-to-month guest, and you just committed a felony in my home. She started crying, then screaming, then throwing things. I called 911. I need assistance removing someone from my home who's becoming violent. The cops who showed up recognized the address from my earlier report. They watched her pack while she sobbed about how I was overreacting and ruining everything over some stupid records. Update 2. The insurance claim went through faster than expected. Since I had extensive documentation and police reports, they cut me a check for $145,000, minus my deductible. Meanwhile, Jordana went nuclear. Her first move was calling my mother. Your son is having me arrested over a misunderstanding. My mom, bless her, said, You mean the misunderstanding where you stole $150,000 worth of his property? It wasn't worth that much. Then why is he getting an insurance payout for that amount? Jordana hung up. Next, she tried my boss. Left a voicemail saying I was mentally unstable and dangerous. My boss forwarded it to me and said, Your ex seems nice. Then came the social media posts. But not the usual, he's abusive narrative. No, Jordana went with something different. My boyfriend is so attached to material things that he's having me arrested for donating his clutter to charity. This is what late-stage capitalism does to men. The comments were not what she expected. You donated his valuable collection without asking? That's theft, hun. My ex did this with my comics. He's in jail now. Good luck. She deleted the post within hours, but the best part was when Detective Morrison called. We found the buyer. Terrence Wilkins. Runs an online vintage store. And he's already sold most of the collection, made about $20,000 so far. From a $500 purchase? Yep, he knew exactly what he was buying. Your girlfriend listed everything valuable in the garage sale ad. Original Blue Notes, rare pressings, collector's items. So she knew they were valuable? That's what we're thinking. Makes the charges worse for her. This wasn't ignorance, it was malicious. Then Jordana's dad called me. Gerald, real estate guy, thinks he's hot stuff. Son, let's resolve this like men. Sure, she can return my records or pay me $150,000. She doesn't have that kind of money. Then she should have thought of that before stealing from me. It's not stealing when you're in a relationship. Actually, it is. Ask Detective Morrison. Look, I'll pay you $10,000 to drop the charges. No, $20,000. Gerald, I already got $145,000 from insurance. This isn't about money anymore. Then what do you want? Justice. He called me several names I won't repeat and hung up. Update 3. Jordana was formally charged with grand larceny in the 2nd degree. It's a Class C felony in our state. She was looking at up to 15 years in prison. Her lawyer reached out to mine. Yes, I got a lawyer trying to plea bargain. Miss Prentice is willing to pay restitution in exchange for dropping charges. She has $150,000? She can pay $1,000 a month for. No, that's 150 months of payments. That's 12.5 years. Ironically, close to her maximum sentence. The lawyer sighed. What does your client actually want? A conviction. My client wants her to have a record so the next person she dates can Google her and know what she's capable of. Meanwhile, Terrence the buyer was having a great time. He'd sold my entire Blue Note collection to a Japanese collector for $35,000. My signed Kind of Blue went for $8,000 to someone in Germany. He messaged me on Instagram. "Hey man, I heard about what happened. That's messed up. I honestly thought she had permission to sell. She said you guys were downsizing. It's not your fault. Enjoy the profits. Feels dirty making money off your loss. I got paid by insurance. We're good. Still, if you ever want to build your collection back up, I'll give you wholesale prices on anything in my store." Decent guy, actually. Jordana, meanwhile, was spiraling. She'd been fired from her marketing job when they found out about the charges. Turns out companies don't want felons handling their social media. She showed up at my house at 2 a.m., drunk, pounding on the door. "Please, I'm sorry, I didn't know they were worth that much." I called the cops. Violation of the no contact order. Another charge added. Her mom, Francine, tried next. Showed up during the day with a gift basket. "Sweetie, Jordana made a mistake. She's young. She's 29. She didn't understand the value. She listed them as valuable collector's items in the garage sale ad. She's learned her lesson." Has she? Because last I heard she was telling people I'm pressing charges over a donation to charity. She's just hurt and lashing out. Ma'am, she stole $150,000 worth of my property. That's not lashing out. That's a felony. Francine started crying. "You're gonna ruin her life over things?" She ruined her own life over things. Things that weren't hers. How can you be so cold? How can you raise someone who thinks theft is okay? She threw the gift basket at me and left. The neighbors saw everything. Cliff gave me a thumbs up from his yard. Update 4. The plea deal negotiations continued. The prosecutor offered to reduce charges to grand larceny in the 4th degree, Class E felony, if Jordana pled guilty. Maximum 4 years instead of 15. Her lawyer called mine. She'll take the deal, but she wants assurance that your client won't pursue civil damages. He won't. Insurance covered his losses. But the guilty plea needs to include admission of malicious intent. Why? Character evidence, in case she tries this with someone else. They agreed. But 3 days before the plea hearing, Jordana did something monumentally stupid. She made a TikTok. Story time. How my ex got me arrested for decluttering our home. She went viral. 2.3 million views in 48 hours. In the video, she claimed the records were moldy and dangerous. I was a hoarder who needed intervention. She tried to sell them back to me, but I refused. The police were harassing her over a civil matter. I was probably gay because I cared more about records than herbing. The internet destroyed her. Girl, you admitted to felony theft on camera. Those records were worth how much? You really thought this would make you look good? The delusion is strong. Someone found this Reddit thread and linked it in the comments. The truth spread faster than her lies. The prosecutor saw the video, called my lawyer immediately. Deal's off. She clearly shows no remorse. We're going to trial. Jordana's lawyer tried to do damage control, but it was too late. She'd violated the terms of her bail by discussing the case publicly. Back to jail she went. Gerald bailed her out again, $50 this time, and finally did what he should have done from the start, took her phone away. Update 5. Jordana's family tried one last Hail Mary. They hired a PR firm. Yes, really. Some crisis management company that specialized in reputation rehabilitation. They started pushing stories about Jordana's mental health struggles and how she was seeking help for her issues. Articles started popping up. The dangers of obsessive collecting, one woman's story. When decluttering goes wrong, a cautionary tale. Toxic masculinity and material obsession, a modern relationship crisis. They were trying to flip the narrative, make her the victim of my unreasonable attachment to objects. It backfired spectacularly. The vinyl collecting community found out. These people are passionate. They flooded every article with corrections, context, and receipts. One collector wrote a brilliant piece breaking down exactly how much damage she'd done. To put this in perspective, she didn't just sell some records. She sold 23 original Blue Note pressings. Average value, $1,200 each. A signed Miles Davis album, insurance value $8,000. A test pressing of VUNN, sold at auction last year for similar, $15,000. Multiple first pressings of classic albums. This wasn't decluttering, it was destruction of cultural artifacts. The PR firm dropped Jordana as a client after a week. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding. Used some of the insurance money to start a new collection. Bought a nice starter set from Terrence. He really did give me great prices. But the universe wasn't done with Jordana yet. Remember Terrence? The buyer? Turns out he'd been contacted by one of the original artists whose rare pressing was in my collection. The artist was pissed that someone would steal and sell his work like that. He offered to testify at the trial about the cultural value of what was stolen. Then the IRS entered the chat. See, Terrence had made about $75,000 selling my collection. All legal, all above board. He paid his taxes. But Jordana? She'd received $500 cash and $2,400 worth of furniture for stolen goods. That's income, taxable income, from criminal activity. Guess who got audited? Final update. The trial was short. With the video evidence, her confession on TikTok and character witnesses, it took the jury 45 minutes to convict. Grand larceny in the second degree. The judge, during sentencing, said something I'll never forget. Miss Prentice, you've shown no remorse. You've publicly mocked your victim, violated bail conditions, and attempted to manipulate public opinion. You stole items of significant monetary and cultural value, not out of need, but out of spite. This court sentences you to 3 years in state prison, followed by 5 years probation. You are also ordered to pay restitution of $150,000 to the insurance company. Jordana fainted. Actually fainted. Gerald screamed that this was injustice and had to be removed from court. Francine sobbed and begged me to show mercy. The mercy, I said, was not pursuing civil damages on top of criminal charges. As they led Jordana away, she turned to me. Was it worth it? Ruining my life over stuff? You ruined your own life. I just documented it. That was 6 months ago. Some final updates. Jordana's in minimum security prison. She'll probably serve 18 months with good behavior. Gerald and Francine sold their vacation home to pay legal fees and start paying the insurance company back. I've rebuilt about 1/3 of my collection. It'll never be the same, but I'm enjoying the hunt again. Terrence and I became friends. We go to record shows together now. The ugly furniture Jordana bought? Donated it to Goodwill. They sold it for $50. Last week I got a letter from Jordana's cellmate. Apparently, Jordana told her the whole story expecting sympathy. The cellmate's response? You stole $150K worth of his stuff and you're surprised you're here? Girl, I'm here for stealing $500 worth of groceries to feed my kids. You're exactly where you belong. To anyone thinking I went too far, she stole $150,000 worth of my property. She got 3 years. That's $50 per year. There are people serving more time for stealing cars worth less than that. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And before anyone asks, yes, I'm dating again. Her name's Quinn. She collects first edition books. Her collection is insured for more than mine was. We keep very detailed records.